Greetings. I'm trying to work on this video, add a little bit more info, just show you my little home office. I'm kind of a single guy, you know, just sitting in my house by myself. So my home office is my living room. And I just wanted to show you, I put my phone right here. I have two phones. One's a Note 9 and one's an S22, and I set my phone up there like that to make these videos. You know, and there's my Microsoft Windows machine. And there's I do most of my work on Linux. I like Linux. Some of my books I read all those books. Some business and philosophy and and it takes a lot of work. Hi. So I'm recording another video. I want to add this to the one I just made. And what I'm doing here is I'm sending information from my phone, which I'm recording this video of myself on, and then I'm downloading it to my laptop, my Linux laptop, and showing you how to do that. I want to show you how to do that. So right here, I click on this Samsung because it pops up down here, and usually I have to go onto my phone. There's this red warning that pops up right here and saying you don't have permission to do that, and I go to my phone and it says allow or deny. I click allow, and it works. And then this is on there. This is the only thing, it's like this. And so I open that, go down here to DCIM, and then look for the date. This right here is the one that's recording right now, and I'm not going to be able to do that, I don't think. But these ones right here, this is the one I just did. So I'll take all three of these and I'm going to put them in current events. And I usually move them here. Actually, you know what? I probably should just move everything on this. I'll probably do that when I get what I'm recording right now. I'll put that in there. And it usually takes a while. So when you do this, you have to be patient. And I'll move all these pictures from this camera folder into this current events directory. And that's how you do that. It's one other thing, and you used to have to, make sure everything was ready. I still right click on that and make sure it's okay to unplug it, and then but these days you don't have to do anything. You just unplug it. Started a new website, and so I haven't been doing much with homeoffice.studio, and I wanted to, and besides that, I've always wanted to teach people how to make videos, and so I figured, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll make a video about making a website, creating a WordPress website. And so this website I'm creating here is not, it's a subdomain of homeoffice.studio, and that's okay, because it has its own separate domain name, which is it's going to be CurrentEvents.studio, and it's going to be just news about what's going on around the world, human nature and civilization right today. There's a lot of history. I love history, so I'll probably write a lot about that too, but it's mainly trying to show people the good news about the evolution of human nature and civilization. So anyway, you go to Bluehost, and I wanted homeoffice.studio to be profitable, and I'm not really selling anything, and I don't have any way for people to donate, but hopefully I think I'll get that back up very soon. And I probably want to sell Bluehost and some of the other stuff that I'm using, because they all have affiliate programs. and that's probably going to be one of my main products. My books are going to be my main product, selling my books. But I got to get those written too. I'm just like, I got so much, there's a lot of work involved in building a website. If you're, and it's fun though. I'm not complaining too much. I mean, it's very fun. It's very interesting and complex, and it's, it ain't easy. And so, but anyway, so how you do that, here's your home page on Bluehost when you log in. And what you do is you go to My Sites, and then you go down and you click on Add Site, and then you build the website. And I've had to call these guys, both Bluehost and WordPress, a couple of times to get through roadblocks, so just realize that's kind of normal. You don't want to use that. You want to use that as minimal, because they're busy and there's a ton of people doing this, so you don't want to waste the time and those resources. But then you got this right here, and you can click on Manage Site and log into WordPress. Will get you to your couple advertisements basically for extensions. I got this WordPress Pro, and I've got Bluehost Pro, so I can get all the help I need on this. Is the main point of that. And plus, you always have extra, features in here and stuff like that. And then you can just log into here, and it takes you to a different thing, a different tab, a new tab. Sometimes it goes. This thing's been going really slow. I've noticed. I like Kyle. I've been looking at Kyle, and I've noticed this. This isn't the first time I noticed this, because I installed this years ago, and it really slowed my computer down. And it's not Kyle. Kyle didn't slow my computer down. What slowed my computer down was it was LaTeX. What was it? Live WayTech or whatever it is that I installed the big LaTeX, one of the big LaTeX applications, and that slowed it down. Ever since then, it's been really slow. So I like LaTeX, and there's probably configuration issues that I could probably maybe fix that if I knew a little bit more about it. But I want to learn how to use this tool and write, books and stuff like right here, and all kinds of things. Not so much web content. This is not offline content creator, and it's basically just a text editor, but it works in the language LaTeX, and it produces documents. You can create PDFs. You can use this to write books. You can use it to create all kinds of you can make presentations with this, and you just got to learn this language. It's kind of at first I thought it was really complicated, and I'm going like, wow, I got to do all this before I can even start writing. That's going to be a bummer. And then I realized that once you get everything set up, you just write the article in here between begin document and end document, and you write the article just like you would be using anything, so you can do that. Let's go ahead and close that, because I might want to open something else right there. Let's see if that finished loading. Yes, it did. Okay, cool. Or did it? No, I already moved. Yeah, see, it got there. It eventually, I don't know what's slowing it down. I'm pretty sure it's LaTeX, because it's a big, huge. The other program that does that is Digicam. If one time I installed Digicam, and I loaded all my hundreds of pictures into it, and that slowed the computer down a lot too. But that was years ago, and it's not really bothering me right now. But so you got your Bluehost, and you got your website, and you're on your website. See, here's your current events. You can visit the site. Let's see what this. See, if you click it here, it goes to the site. And I'm just working on this. It's just barely. It's not even. If you go to if you enter CurrentEvents.studio, this is what you'll see. It's just a new WordPress site coming soon, so it's not really done yet. Now this comes from this is an interesting problem I've been having. This thing right here comes when I used my Dissenter browser, causes this. And so what I've decided to do about that, because I have Windows, I thought it was something wrong with the website, but then I turned on my Windows website and did some work, and I realized, wait a minute, that's not it's the browser. So what I do about that is I close Dissenter and I open my other one, my other browser, which is Falcon. So Hover is where I'm getting my .studio domain names, because Bluehost can't do that or won't do that. But so I'm using Hover for my domain name. Here's homeoffice.studio. I'm still working on this. For some reason on this application, this won't. I got it centered, and it works in Microsoft Edge. This is in the center of this page section, but on this one I can't get it to stay in the center. And it's just where I'm working on this website, and I figure, all right, this is going to be a blog post. And it's not going to be a great one, but it's just going to be, I'm just trying to show you what you can do with WordPress and how you build websites. The other thing I'm doing is I'm using Cadence. I watch a lot of videos about stuff like this just to learn about Linux. So there's home, about, articles, and news. There'll probably be a store at some point, but first of all, I just want to do all this. And then what I want is these pages like this, because this is one of the pages. This is the articles page. And it's supposed to be with a sidebar right here. I don't want the home page to have a hard sidebar, but the other pages I do. I want there to be a sidebar, and that there's going to search bar, and then a menu with all the articles, all the different articles on it. And it's just a menu, and it kind of opens up, and I got that set up, but ever since then it kind of messed everything up, and now the sidebar's even gone. So I don't know what's causing that. I was working on it and everything was going fine. See, here's the sidebar, and the way it works is these are expandable. You click on this and all the articles, it's not really, because this is the back end of it right here. If we go visit site, let's see what that does. Yeah, see, this is, okay, so that's what I want, is this right here. And then if I go to articles, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I'm working on. And I may change all this, but then I tried to put my information down here, and it just the whole thing just started going weird on me. And there's a title here that says, I think it says contact information and links. These must be the same color of blue as that, apparently, is what that's so these are the links, but this is like a copy of the main menu is what that is. And then I haven't put anything in here, but there was titles on each one of these sections, and they're gone. I don't know why. I started working on them, and it just kind of went crazy like that. But this is actually looking fairly good. This is what I want this to look like. And of course I'll be tweaking on it. I'm just working on it, and I wish that thing wasn't there because it kind of gets in the way, but it's not really hurting anything. And then, because I like writing big articles that are like, you read these articles and you learn something serious. Like for example, and I started out, I wrote United Nations is an article. Let's see if these work. Yeah, see, that's right. That's the way it's supposed to work. All right, so that's working pretty good. All right, so I guess I just had to, and I wrote all these little articles yesterday just to kind of get this thing going. I don't think I wrote anything. Oh, I guess I did. Oh man, see, that's not gonna be a good thing right there. Let's see, what about this one? What is it? Does that one work? No. Man, I'm pretty sure I don't have to do that on every site, every page individually, but I might, because I'm pretty sure it's what it is that when you're on your page building, your Gutenberg editor, your the little side panel over here, you just click one button and it'll select the page type. You can go in there and I create page types, but you can click, you go to a certain page and you can create page types, and then when you create the pages, you just automatically you click that and select what kind of a page you want it to be, because you got different pages that are going to do different things. For example, the blog, is going to be different. I don't have anything on the blog yet, but that's news. And it'll be like a blog. See, I haven't done anything with this yet, but, and this is what it would look like, and all your list of stories would be down here. And so you just create it, and you just replace what's here with your own information is what you do. And this will be stories about world unity and the United Nations and the communications, the science and technology of world unity, which is kind of a fairly important part of it, because the human race is it's evolving, and that we have like jet planes and the container ships and the ships on the ocean it's like a conveyor belt transporting stuff all over the earth. And so there's trade, international trade. We have to have rules of the road. Like if two ships meet on the high seas, they both need to know to pass on the right, because otherwise, if one's trying to pass on the right and one's trying to pass on the left, they might crash into each other. So it's good to have rules of the road like that. And fishing, we can't have people harvesting all the fish, because then our kids are going to starve. We have to do stuff like that, in a sustainable way. And agriculture, the human race is terraforming Earth from a wilderness into a garden, and we need to work on making that process sustainable, and good. And it is, it's a good thing. A lot of people complain and they say, oh, nature is a good thing. Well, nature is a good thing. I agree with that. But right now, Earth is, it's human civilization is here now. And we're going to create one global civilization. And that's what current events is all about. It's this one world civilization. It's brand new. Well, you could say that it started 12,000 years ago when the last ice age ended, and that would be a true story. They started agriculture back then, and started learning things and learning how to do civilization, and there's just been waves of progress ever since then. It's been kind of a rise and fall of civilization kind of cycle. And now we've created this one world civilization that will evolve from now on in waves of progress. It'll be waves of progress, but there won't be any fall of civilization. There's going to be, issue. We're going to have to get through whatever problems arise, natural disasters and things like that. But we know enough about how civilization works. We know enough about human nature and civilization that we can build a civilization that doesn't collapse, doesn't disintegrate after a few generations. And that's what in the past, that's kind of how civilization has evolved in the past. And we know, because we've been recording everything, history. We have history, and people have been exploring and writing stories about it and telling stories about it. And so now we're building one universal civilization. And we have records of everything. Everything is recorded. The internet is like, it's one big, it's a very fascinating thing, and this is kind of what I'm doing with Home Office and Current Events, is this helping to build up the internet, and not just the physical internet, but the content of the internet. I'm more of a content creator. I'm trying to tell stories about the physical aspects of it, but mostly I'm a content creator. I like philosophy and natural healing and things like that, and that's what I like writing about. And right now I'm trying to get these platforms set up so that I can publish my stories. And my strategy, my strategic plan for 2022 and 2023 is to get my 2 books written and published, and maybe 3, I don't know, at least 2, because I got 2, and they're kind of almost done, but they're just not ready yet. They both need to be finished. And then I'll have 3 websites. One website is the Home Office website, which is the main website, and hopefully the money-making one. Although maybe one of the other ones will make the money. I don't know. It doesn't. I need to earn a living. I've always wanted this to be a profitable business, and and so I can write content and whatever I feel like writing about that day, whatever's going on in my mind, and so. And I can publish it, and I invite other people to offer. I've had a few people offering to write articles, and I say, yeah, that's good. And so I've had a couple different people publish articles on the website, and I usually, I do quite a bit of screening and making sure there isn't anything terrible going on. And so I hope that doesn't show up on my video, that little notice that just popped up on my phone. I make these videos on my phone. I got 2 phones, and the S22 and the Note 9 and the S22. So, and they're both great phones, and they both got great cameras. Plus, I got another camera that's an SLR2 Rebel something Canon, digital camera. So I got cameras. One thing I need is microphones. I bought a couple microphones, but I don't have any stands to put them on. And the cables, I think I got cables for them, but I don't have the stands for them, and I don't know how to use them. I installed OBS. I've been using Simple Screen Recorder to record my screen on my laptop, and but I think I might switch to Simple Screen Recorder, and OBS. What is that? Open Broadcasting System, I think, or something like that. And you start learning how to use that in my little content creation workflow. This is fun, man. And I encourage you, if you're a worker, you're not going to be able to do what I did, because I suppose some people would be, but because I've read thousands of books, and I don't really recommend it, reading the Bible 5 times from start to finish, and the Quran 4 times, and the Bhagavad Gita many times, and the Zendavesta and the Baha'i writings, and and every, science. History, philosophy, and religion are all one subject to me, and I've studied all of them pretty extensively. And so I'm not gonna, I recommend you do that too. And the earlier you start, the better. Learn how to love learning and read a lot and watch videos. That's why I like putting the videos in with the written articles and long written articles, because it's learning. I'm trying to teach people things. I'm trying to teach people how to be peaceful and prosperous. And that's what my main idea is peaceful and prosperous human nature and civilization. And because I've been homeless a lot in my life, and I got clean. I quit using drugs 30 years ago. In 1991 was the last time I ever used any drug. And I did smoke cigarettes during the 90s, and I quit smoking cigarettes in 2000, around in there, 1999, somewhere 2000. It was 2001, because it was during 9/11, right about the same time as when I quit smoking. That's right. That's what I was doing, man. I was staying home reading like a postgraduate level college textbook about counseling. That's what I was doing on 9/11. I was going to school to be a drug rehab counselor. But then after I realized what they were teaching about this whole power differential and how important the doctors and counselors are, I just said, you know what, I don't want to learn what you're teaching. Because one of the most important principles I teach people is that there is no inferior or superior human beings. And this whole striving for money, property, and prestige, and power, and authority, it's a sickness. It's a mental illness. It's just exactly like, because everybody wants to be important, and everybody is important, but wanting to be more or less important than anybody else is pathological. It's a disease. It's a disorder, a mental disorder, and our schools are teaching it. It's where it comes from mainly. Well, not really, but the whole ivory tower is the Tower of Babel. They divide the knowledge up into, biology and physics and chemistry, and nobody has a right to speak about anything except for their specialty. Specialization has its advantages, but that's the Tower of Babel. That's exactly what the Tower of Babel is all about. It's the academic and a social hierarchy, and a competitive social hierarchy. It's just not sustainable, because that whole story in the Bible about the Tower of Babel basically signals that that's the end that's one of the identifying characteristics of the end of civilization is that dividing knowledge into little sects and silos of, you can talk about this but you can't talk about that. The expertise is a good thing. Education is vital, and I get all the education you can get. Just understand that your education doesn't make you more important than anybody else or give you any authority over anybody. Doctors have valuable knowledge, and they can help people and serve all mankind, but they do not have power and authority over other people. That is corruption. And we got to fix that. That's the one thing. I figure that all war, all crime, all war is caused by that power differential. And because no sane human being's ever going to accept the idea that they're less important than anybody else. And, it's just like cancer, it's a biological process growing out of control. Well, the power differential is a psychological process growing out of control, because wanting to be important, self-esteem, that's not a bad thing. But wanting to be more important, it's kind of like the dark side, you know what I mean? And so, there's that, and then there's, it's fun, and I kind of tell these rambling stories. I need to get better at that, improve that about my storytelling. I want to tell stories. I want to be a professional storyteller, and I want my stories to heal people and improve life on earth improve life, period, on our, during life on earth and after, because I want to help people. I want to tell, introduce people to Baha'u'llah and say, hey man, check out Baha'u'llah. It's important. It's a big deal. It's the most great news of all is the revelation of Baha'u'llah. And, and I don't want to get too much into religion on this website or any of my websites, so I don't talk too much about it. I try not to. But I can't not talk about it because it's the most important feature of human nature and civilization. Nothing else matters compared to that one, faith, one common faith of all mankind. And, so you got faith, and then you got family, and then you got physical health, nutrition, exercise, taking care of your physical body. That's the third, dimension of human nature and civilization. And then the fourth dimension is your professional career. How are you making money? How are you being productive? Because everybody has to be productive in one way or another. It doesn't necessarily have to be a job or making money or anything like that, but you do have to be productive, and because unproductive people are worthless, useless, human beings. They're just leeches, and that's not the way we're created. We were created to be builders and creators, and God created us in the image of God. So one of the things that means is we're creative, and everybody is creative, but how you express your creativity is voluntary behavior. It's a voluntary action, and it's just like, we have instinct and emotion in common with animals. But what human beings have in addition to that is our voluntary response to our instincts and emotion. It's all based on language. Language, we think in our language, and we communicate with each other. We can understand each other with our language, and we learn, that we receive the word of God typically through language. But it used to be oral, but more recently it's been written, and it's written. And everybody can read the writings and know exactly what God says, and he speaks to us every once in a while. Anyway, so let's, one thing I wanted to check out was, did I already show you this? This is Kate, and you can open up articles. See, here's you'll have your little, tree, directory tree over there. Down here, you've got a little, terminal is what that is. And you just go Kate.cshell, and it opens up that file in here. I don't know what's going on with, and then I opened up NeoVim. For some reason, the color is gone on that. So I'll have to do some research on that, figure out what's going on with that. But I don't know if it's because it works fine on this one. Here's my prompt. PS1 is your prompt. And you can get in here and adjust these colors. And this is my prompt right here. And I got it set. See, yellow. Is this yellow? Green. I think that the green is the @ symbol. HPMB. Anyway, this is my. Doesn't seem like there's any. I don't see any blue down here, and magenta is kind of a red. So I don't know. I want my my prompt to be very visible. Is what this is all about. I noticed some people they all they got is this right here. They don't have all this up here, but I put that. I like that being there because that makes it more visible. Of course, it does use up a bunch of lines though. So but this is what you do, man. You get in here, you learn, you watch videos, and you read stories about this. I've read books about Z shell. I have a book about the language of Z shell. and you know, this I could put Neo Fetch in here. So now when I open my Kitty, which I use Kitty because it's just faster than console, just can't keep up. There's no way. I mean, it's dramatic. You know, the difference is, you know, pretty serious. You know, quite a bit. And so this is all. It gives me all this little information. And I can just start right here, and then that kind of goes away. It kind of pushes up. So, you know, get in here and start with Bluehost. You get on Bluehost. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about before I go is cadence. I'm going to sign up for the Pro version of Cadence too, because I'm going to be building, you know, and that's one thing on this website I'm building. I'm kind of like not really worried about going all the way and getting it all done real fast, because I plan on doing, I've already got Cadence blocks installed on homeoffice.studio, so it's in my account, and so it just automatically shows up here, and it gives me all these different. Once I do the Cadence Pro, which I'll probably do that tomorrow because it's expensive, you know, I'm spending money on this website. I'm not, this isn't a free website, and it's hard work. I mean, you have to work a lot. You have to study and learn how to use Linux. Well, you could use Windows. You could do everything I'm doing on Windows. I use Linux, and that's a huge, big learning curve there. And then there's learning here, learning on the WordPress. The reason I like Linux is because I don't want Microsoft controlling my computer. I don't want them owning the software on my computer and controlling it. No, I don't agree to that. You know, and I read the Microsoft user agreement way back in Windows 95, and I don't agree. And so I started using Linux. I've been using Linux for about 15 years, and I like it. You know, I mean, it's great. It's better than Windows. I've never even tried Apple because Macintosh is worse than Microsoft when it comes to intellectual property. You know, their control, and I just. No thanks. They have good stuff. I don't hate them or anything like that. I have my main desktop computer is still running Windows, and you know, and I don't necessarily want to get rid of that. What I'd like to get is one of those Windows, you know, laptops, Surface Pro 8, I guess they're up to now, and get one of those, a really high-end one of those, and keep that around. That'll be my Windows machine. And then I'll convert this little cheap, no-name desktop I got into Linux, and use it as one of my Linux machines. Because you kind of usually want to have at least two computers in case one breaks for some reason. And you just work. And what I'm using is Bluehost and WordPress and Gutenberg, you know, the Gutenberg editor. You know, when you go to work on a page, you go to the Gutenberg editor. And I know this one's got the deal set in it. So you go down to, and you click on edit, and it opens the page, and you can edit here. And I don't need that. Or maybe I should have kept it. Because the reason why this doesn't go all the way to the edge, because I selected. Here's all this. But like I said, I'm not too worried about all this. What I was saying, I'm going to have to copy all this because I read a little blog about a little, 4 or 5 paragraph section for each one of these pages I created, and it's a good start on a story. And so I'll probably save all this. Oh, I remember what I was going to tell you, mention too, is over here on Dolphin. Is I'll go in here and I will create a new folder and call it Current Events. And now every time I create and save something, it'll go in. There's the folder for it. Here's the one for homeoffice.studio, current events. And so those are my 2 websites, and eventually I'll create my 3rd website. It's going to be about recovery, personal recovery. Current events is about the human nature, and the evolution of human nature and civilization, and one world civilization. And then I'll create another one about personal recovery. And so, and then that's what you do. And you got a whole bunch of stuff over here you work with. You got this over here that you work with. If you click on this, I got this pinned up here because I don't like it because it gets in the way because you can set it to where it kind of follows you around. And, and it would be like at the top right above this paragraph, and it just gets in the way. So I pin that up there, and you can do that over here. I think it's right here. Anyway, there's a bunch of settings on here, and I'll have to go through and make a better setting. This stuff down here is Yoast. I got the pro version of Yoast, and it helps you set your pages up so you can create, make them SEO. This is my Yoast SEO, and when I use that, and I don't know how to use all this. I try to learn so many things all at once. I'm kind of a slow learner, but the main companies I'm working with right now are Bluehost, WordPress, Cadence, Yoast. Cadence is the theme that I'm using, and they have all those plugins that are really cool extensions. That's all this stuff over here. If I click on here and browse all, it's all this stuff right here. And there's all kinds of different things. You can just, like, I could, row layout. I can create all kinds of different things like this, and split the column, if you want to get rid of one, you just remove row layout. And you can insert pictures, that's a real common one. Buttons, advanced gallery, and create code accordions, a countdown, a form. See? And you can do that. Looks like all you got is that. Change block type or style. All this does is basically wide width and full width, or none. It's column width on mine, so it fit within the column of text, and that's fine, And you can, I'm sure you can adjust these. Because when I watch videos about Cadence and stuff like that, they're doing things that are like amazing. They can build all kinds of amazing things with this. So this is this? No. Actually, and I've noticed that you'll have that, but then you'll also have like this. Huh? Remove form. Okay, cool. So anyway, that's what you can do, man. It's fun, it's interesting, it's complicated. You got Bluehost, you got WordPress, you got Yoast, you got Cadence, and you have to learn each one of them. And then there's other ones like Monster Insights, getting Google Analytics set up. And I've been using Monster Insights, but there may be better. And I use Jetpack. I got that on there. I got Cloudflare, which is the deal that kind of distributes my website all around the world, so it's everywhere in the world. I'm sure there's some places it's I can't get it, but like China or North Korea, places like that where they got thought control police and everything like that. No, I'm not. That's not. I don't like that stuff. But I like freedom and equality and justice for all, and hopefully we'll just spread it around the world everywhere. Every human being is precious and noble, and we need to take care of each other and make the world a better place. Have fun making the world a better place, and we got to get along together, man. We're going to have to resolve this issue between authoritarian, the alpha males, or I should say alpha people, because it's not just males. Women they can be bullies just as much as men can. They're just a little bit more, because of their physical, they're smaller than men in general. They're usually smaller than men, and weaker, so they're more, they have to use their intelligence and their mind, and they're kind of more devious. The ones that are competing, the competitors, because I think that this is one of the most important issues that we're learning is this idea alpha people will be extinct. That whole competitive social hierarchy will be extinct. It is not sustainable. That's what causes civilization to disintegrate, because the young people, they don't want to be told what to do. Nobody does. It's not natural. God makes the rules. God makes the rules, and everybody needs to study and learn and follow the rules made by God. That's how we create one universal and divine civilization, one sustainable, global spacefaring civilization. We're getting ready to make the jump to light speed. We're working on that. Kind of like when back in the days when they were worried about falling off the earth on the sailing ships, if they kept going, they were worried about they might fall off the end of the earth. Well, they finally figured out it was round, and they could just travel all the way around the world. And that's kind of where we're at now with the flying to another solar system. We're kind of on the verge of discovering that. I think, I don't know, but I figured there's a way to do it, and we'll eventually be able to do that. And who knows what that's going to be like. Anyway, I hope this turned out to be an okay video. I hope it helps you build your website, your free enterprise, your home office based free enterprise. That's what I'm trying to do. Follow my example. I'm just trying to show you what I'm doing so it can maybe help you. Because I wish I had known about Cadence when I started building the home office.studio, because I would have selected. I didn't even know anything. I didn't even know Cadence existed, and now I do. And so I'm trying to incorporate it into my system, but I can't. I don't want to break my old, home office.studio. It's not easy to transfer it. Once you get your theme, you do that when you set your website up. It's not necessarily easy, especially when you got hundreds and hundreds of pages. You can't just switch it to a different theme. So that's why Cadence is a good one. There's other really good systems out there. There's Gutenberg is the WordPress page builder, and it works really good, and it's brand new, and I've been using it and liking it, and so I'm kind of focusing on learning that. And there's alternatives to that too. Elementor is one I hear about a lot. I've never really tried to use that, but apparently it's pretty popular. And yeah, get in there and start building a website. The way you learn how to build websites is build websites. Start out with WordPress and just Bluehost and just follow the instructions and read and learn. Your browser. I'm switching back and forth between Falcon and Dissenter. I've kind of switched back to Dissenter as my main one because Falcon is just too clumsy. It's not, it's just, but I'm hoping Falcon, KDE is advancing. It's got this Falcon, it's better than it was 6 months ago. And, and I can't tell you exactly how it's better. I just know it's better, because I used it 6 months ago and this is crap, man. It doesn't do anything. And now it's like, it's got its problems, but it's a lot better than it was last time I tried it. And so that's what I do, man. And I do this over years. I've been doing this I started using Linux in 2004. I started building websites in 2008, and I've always had a website. Since 2008, I've always had at least one website going, usually more than one. And I had homeoffice.studio was my one website for a while, a couple years. And then now I've got two, and my plan is I'm going to do three. I'll do the personal recovery one right after I get this one set up. And that way I'll get the experience of building two websites, one right after the other. So this will kind of be much more, because a lot of times what happens, you build a website and then you'd never have to go through that again for years while you're messing around with that website, and you forget how to build website, that whole initial setting up a website process. So this way I'm going to do two of them, one right after another. And I've already done, at least 10. I've built at least 10 different websites since I started. And so this way I'll have 3 websites going, and I want to focus, I want to get down to creating content. I'm just going to maintain this and start creating content, and just a lot, to where like I get up and work and produce content every day, just like a job, and produce stories, and it's going to be interesting. And I'll get a lot better. I think I'm getting a lot better already. I know I'm getting a lot better from when I first started making these videos. I'm still wandering around, not very, I didn't go to school much, so I didn't learn all that English grammar and writing, and, I didn't have a teacher. I had some, but I usually, teachers, I don't get along very well with teachers, because I don't know why, but I just been kind of told I was dumb, and I couldn't, and they didn't want to waste their time with me, so I found it. And I read a lot, but I read a lot. I can remember reading like the encyclopedia, starting with A and B, and I'm pretty sure I got partway through C before I got distracted and started. But I've read other encyclopedias, like I read this one where there was a whole like 19 volumes of books about different nations like Persia and China, where people went and lived there, and British scientists anthropologists went and lived in those countries and wrote these books about them, and they were paid by the company that wrote the books. And so each one was like a scientific investigation of Persia or China and their history and culture and everything. And I read, not all of them, but I probably read 7 or 8 of those, and so I love learning, and I encourage you to love learning, and read the stories and watch the videos. There's a reason why I have both writing and videos, because I think those are both very excellent high performance teaching learning methods, and that's why I do both. And I'll probably try to add in some sort of interactivity and turn this into, like, there's a software that is specifically designed for teaching. I may investigate some of that and try to make it so it's a little bit more interactive. I've always wanted the commenting on these websites to be, because I like interacting with people, and they'll write comments and you just kind of have a conversation starts out. But when I created these websites, man, the commenting is always like hundreds and hundreds of spam, just garbage, and no conversation. I've never seen a conversation start up. So I haven't really done anything much with that, but it's something I will probably be looking into. Like I said, once I get these 3 websites set up, I'm going to focus on the content and the creating traffic. I have some pretty good content on homeoffice.studio. You read those stories on homeoffice.studio and watch those videos on homeoffice.studio. It will change your life, and it'll be a good change. I'm not I love God, and hopefully I hope I'm friends with God. I want to be friends with God, and I'm serving God to the best of my ability, but I'm teaching the truth. I'm seeking the truth and teaching the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. So thanks a lot, and have a great day.